This character has created a huge divide in the Dragon Ball community. Is Dragon Ball Z's Android 17 an actual playable character in the next Dragon Ball game, or is he just a character skin or outfit or whatever you want to call it? I have been on both sides of this argument, and at this point I just don't know which one is true anymore. And Bandai is having fun tormenting me. They know what they're doing, having their share of fun, are they? So today we're taking a deep dive, taking a closer look, so hopefully we get closer and closer to the right answer. But first, how did we even get here? Well, it all started with the announcement trailer. At the end of this trailer, we got a ton of characters flashed before our eyes, and one of them was Android 17. But he was wearing his Dragon Ball Super outfit, and he's winding up to do his Super Electric Strike. You may have seen this move in Dragon Ball FighterZ or Xenoverse. It's kind of become 17's thing over time, even though that's a game-exclusive move. Unless you want to spoil the manga, which we don't do here. Stop. So 17 is confirmed, but along with that, Bandai also launched the Sparking Zero website, and Android 17 is listed as Android 17 parenthesis Super, which kind of implies that Android 17Z will also be a character. On top of that, if you look at Android 18 right next to him, she has no subtitle. She is just Android 18. This is a very big indicator that there will only be one Android 18 in the entire character roster, and that 17 will have two versions, Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z. I think everyone was in agreement so far. Then they launched the Rivals trailer, and although it focused on Goku and Vegeta, the end of the trailer was the biggest breaking news that we could have had for this game. This roster screen revealed the game would have 164 characters, and it included, of course, Android 17 Super. By the way, this screen right here is marketing, okay? I still see a lot of people thinking that this will be the character select screen in game. No, you're still going to be able to select Goku and then go and select the transformation just like in Tenkaichi 3. This is just a marketing screen so you can see the full character list before release, and it's also a fun thing that they can fill up after every trailer. Now fast forward to April this year and they drop this scan. Master versus Apprentice. Here they announced a bunch of different characters, but we can also kind of see that Gohan is fighting against Android 17, the Z version. So even though he wasn't explicitly announced, we thought, cool, Z17 is finally gonna get announced too. And then the trailer dropped, and by the end of it, there is no Android 17Z in the roster. And this is what broke the world. If you're showing the character, why isn't the character in the select screen? What is going on here? Now, I have included Android 17Z in my roster prediction. As soon as the hexagons happened, I put 17Z in that roster screen. I thought it was actually one of the most obvious additions, so I've been on the side of thinking that he was gonna be his own playable character. And I've been on that side for a really long time, but after this trailer came out, it told me that it's a skin. And it's not just because the character is not on this screen, but because they also highlighted Videl during the same trailer. They highlighted her for having two different hairstyles for you to choose from, basically confirming that skins would be a thing, so 17 also fell in line with that. And to clarify, the difference comes down to gameplay. You will be able to play as this Android 17 in Sparking Zero, and you will also be able to play as this Android 17 in Sparking Zero. The question is, do they play differently? Do they have a different move list, different supers? That's what makes them different characters instead of just character skins or outfits. So my initial reaction is that this is a character skin and not its own playable character. But since the trailer came out, the community has had some very good arguments and bad ones as to why this version is its own character and not just the skin. And today I just have no idea where to stand. We're gonna go through all of those arguments, but I want to start by saying that at this point, nobody knows. You're gonna see some comments out there, including in this video right here, of people that know for a fact that he is playable, that he's gonna be his own character, that is so obvious. Nobody knows. I don't know either, but for now, these are just theories. Until that guy's face is on a hexagon, he is not a confirmed character and everyone is just guessing. First of all, if he is a playable character, why didn't he get on the roster screen at the end of the trailer? There are a few arguments for this. First one, the trailer wasn't focused on Android 17. Cap. We've had characters being announced for being on screen for 3 frames. Android 17 was a big spotlight in this trailer. They could have easily just have him be a punching bag. They could have made this entire section just Gohan and Trunks fighting against each other. It's kind of like practice. But they not only brought the androids into this, they also made them attack. They gave us cutscenes. And look at the zoom in on Android 17. How are you gonna say he wasn't the focus in this trailer, man? He got such a big spotlight, so I like this next reason better, even though it sounds similar. The trailer's theme didn't match him. Yes, this was a trailer about masters and apprentices, and Android 17 doesn't really fit either of those. He wasn't an apprentice because he was just made by Dr. Gero, and he wasn't anyone's master either, unless he's be teaching animals to do some weird stuff in that island. So this was not the right time to properly announce Android 17 and put him on the roster. That's a reason that I think makes a bit more sense, but even then, I have to question if that is the case, why did they choose to highlight him so much during this trailer? See, that's what's making me conflicted here. I like the reasoning, but it just raises more questions. But looking at the trailer, we can actually learn something more about Android 17 here that might give us further hints, because his ultimate is not the one we've seen before. When 17 got announced, we saw him doing Super Electric Strike, which is probably his ultimate. But in this trailer, he does this Ki Blast Flurry, which is actually his ultimate from Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 3. It's called Sadistic Dance. They do some melee attacks and then go for that Ki Blast Flurry as the finisher. Now, the melee attacks they do in this trailer don't seem to be part of the ultimate. Something about the camera angles here make it seem like this was heavily edited to make it look like that, but it's not all a part of the same animation. I think these are different supers. But it's undeniable that he is doing the Tenkaichi 3 ultimate, and if the ultimate is different, then this clearly is a different version of Android 17. It's his own character with his own ultimate attack. He's not the one we've seen before. Case closed. About that. It could be. I'm not saying that it can't. That's a very plausible theory, but it can also be a lot of different things. For instance, maybe Super Electric Strike is not an ultimate attack this time around. Maybe it's just a super, meaning that these two moves could actually belong to the same character. It could also be that this is not 17's ultimate at all. Maybe it's Android 18's ultimate this time around. I mean, back in Tenkaichi 3, Android 18 also came out of nowhere if you just did your ultimate with 17. Maybe they've swapped those around. Since 17 has become the MVP, he now just has more moves. Though I admit this one is not very likely because this frame does look like 18's ultimate from Tenkaichi 3, so that's probably your ultimate in this one too. But hey, maybe this is not an ultimate at all. Maybe this is just a story mode cutscene and not a part of their moveset. I don't think that's the case, but I also don't know that it's not. Best case scenario, actually, they're bringing back Team Supers from Raging Blast. Let's say Android 18 has her own super, and Android 17 has Super Electric Strike. But if you pick both characters, maybe you could have a Team Ultimate. I mean, we've seen them taking some systems from Raging Blast before, so this would be a nice feature to take as well, even if that would support that Android 17Z is just a character skin. I mean, honestly, I take it. Lose Android 17Z as a character, keep him as a skin, but gain Team Supers for the whole game? Tell me you wouldn't take the trade. Shoutouts to Grandmaster Hawk for capturing this clean footage for me. So, the ultimates and the moveset analysis also bring us nowhere, and faced with this, I had to take a step back. I was in too deep. I needed to zoom out. I needed to stop looking at specifics, stop looking at each frame this trailer has, and just look at the facts. What do we know for sure? Well, we don't know much, and that's why we're questioning everything. But to me, the number one reason why I believe this is a character and not a skin was the very first reason we mentioned. He's still listed as Android 17 Super on the website. That hasn't been updated yet, and that's important. Now, I don't think on its own that is evidence. It could be that 17Z was planned at first and later scrapped to be a skin. As the team was building moveset for those two characters, maybe they realized they weren't that different and opted to do a skin instead of a full character. But in the process, forgot to change the character's name on the website. It happens. Stuff changes during development, and this could be one of them. But it's been now a week since the trailer came out, and that hasn't been corrected yet, which to me means one of two things. One, Android 17Z is actually going to be a character of his own, or two, Bandai just loves to mess with us. Both of them are probably true. Look, there are very strong points to both sides, but I think it comes down to Android 17 is still listed as 17 Super on the website, and while they don't update that, I think 17Z is very much a strong possibility, but at the same time, he is not a confirmed character until his face is on a hexagon. And it's very, very weird that Bandai did not put him there despite giving him so much screen time in the latest trailer. And if this left you with more questions than you had before, good. Now you know how I feel every day. But when I reacted to this trailer, I feel like I misinformed you a little bit. Because I told you for a fact that 17 was a skin. And I got a bunch of replies saying that for a fact that he wasn't. And the truth is, nobody knows, so I had to bring it back and keep that open. Now, I don't think we'll see more Sparking Zero until Summer Games Fest, which is in early June, not that long until then, but chances are we won't get a clear answer for a while. Hopefully, the game is playable at Summer Games Fest, because if it is, I might play it. And of course, I'll tell you all about it if I do. But until then, if you'd like to see what else this trailer has revealed, you can check out this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.